Hi, it's Gita and welcome to Practical Civics. On September 18th, President Trump signed a proclamation declaring Constitution Week. As we begin to celebrate 250 years of American independence next year, President Trump called on teachers, administrators, and state and local leaders to actively teach about the Constitution for a week every single year. We here at Answer the Question think that's a great idea. So this is the first in a series of videos this month, which will take a deep dive into this important founding document of the United States. The Constitution is now a 235-year-old document, and most Americans, in fact, most people around the world, know what it is generally, and they know that it specifies the law of the land here in the United States. But what exactly does it say, and is it still relevant today? The U.S. Constitution wasn't our founding fathers' first attempt at creating a document which specified the governing principles for a fledgling new nation. The first attempt was a document called the Articles of Confederation, which was ratified in 1781, and it deliberately created a very weak central government. Because our founders were so fearful of replicating what they considered the tyranny of the British Crown, they initially created a governing body that was very weak from a central standpoint. This original founding document gave the central government no power to tax states or citizens, no ability to raise armies, and no ability to regulate interstate commerce. Unfortunately, this led to crippling debt, economic chaos, and states acting as kind of hostile member nations instead of a unified collection of individual states with common interests. Perhaps the defining moment that highlighted the weakness of this first document was Shays' Rebellion, which took place from 1786 to 1787. This was an uprising by rural farmers in Massachusetts. Many of these farmers were actually Revolutionary War veterans, but they were debt-ridden and struggling to hold on to their farmland. So they staged a revolt, but because of the federal government's lack of power to raise an army, it took them a long time, over a year, to actually put the revolt down. This inability to maintain domestic order prompted leaders like James Madison and Alexander Hamilton to call for a constitutional congress in Philadelphia in 1787. It was at this convention that the original framers of the United States abandoned the Articles of Confederation and began to frame a new constitution featuring a strong federal system with the power to tax, raise armies, and enforce laws. Stay tuned for part 2 in this series, which will explore the preamble of the Constitution and the 6 goals laid out in the preamble.